Overcoming and becoming. Overcoming and becoming, babe. If you want it, then become it. Just let your light shine through you, baby. Who you are, live life in your truth. Sister, love, you're amazing. And life is complete once we see who we are created to be. Overcome and become. Let your light shine through you, baby. Who you are, live life in your truth. Sister, love, you're amazing. And life is complete once we see who we are created to be. We are who we are, meant to be who we are.
Welcome to Overcoming and Becoming. I am your host, Latisa B. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about overcoming a toxic relationship with your mom. But before we do, check out my fit, the House of Couture. She has done it again. I also want to send out a special shout out to UYC Photography. She can capture your event as it happens. We'll be right back.
If you want it, then become it.
Become a part of a speaking agency that will show you how to stay relevant and be the speaking expert in your field now. Get ready to be ahead of the pack. Join the League of Champions and get ready for a champion comeback.
Overcoming and becoming. Overcoming and becoming, babe. If you want it, then become.
Welcome back to Overcoming and Becoming. Joining me today is my guest, Yolanda Perry, a 3-time author, licensed hairstylist, certified master makeup artist, and the founder and CEO of Maven Effects. Yolanda, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, no, thank you for being here. Today, we're going to talk about overcoming a toxic relationship with your mom. And Yolanda, I know you know a lot about that.
I do. Unfortunately, I do.
Yeah. Can you share a little bit about your relationship with your mother?
Well, being as though my mom had me when she was 14, I think we just kind of grew up together. So I think she was still learning how to be a mother, how to be a young lady, things of that nature. I just think that she was seeking love. Seeking love in all kinds of places, and in the midst of that, she neglected me, her oldest child, and I became that caregiver for her during this time. Toxic relationship, dating a married man, putting him first before her children, putting his children before her own children. It was tumultuous.
So when you say she was sick in love, what do you mean by sick in love?
When I say sick in love, meaning that she would do anything for a man before she would do for her children. He got the best of everything while we got what was left. And when I mean by what was left, I mean what was left of her, what was left of food, what was left of comfort, what was left of anything that she should have been providing as a mother to me.
Yeah. And when you say tumultuous, what makes her tumultuous, or what is actually tumultuous?
Tumultuous can be a multitude of things. It can be passionate. It can be dangerous. It can be scary. For me, it was empty darkness. For me, growing up, it was empty darkness. It was destitute.
I understand. Going back, it brings those memories back. And it's okay.
So that's the reason why I titled my book Tumultuous, because that was the only word that
described
encompassed
everything.
everything.
And I know it has to be hard because we look towards our mothers. They are our blueprint.
Absolutely.
They are our blueprint of who we should idolize or who we should strive to become, because that is the woman that we see all the time. So I can imagine what it was like growing up with someone that you didn't really want to idolize.
She was there but not there.
There but not there.
There but not there. And no matter what I did to make her see me, she couldn't see me.
And how did that make you feel? Because I can still tell, this is still an emotional place for you right now. So tell me a little bit about even what you're feeling right now, Yolanda. Because it's important to express what you're feeling right now.
I'm just still hurt and I don't understand, because I have a daughter, and I feel like because of the things the things that I went through with her, it didn't give me the ability to be the mother that I should have been to my daughter early on, And being as though she's 27 now, I am just now finding my daughter.
It's okay. Can I offer this to you? Your mother could only give you what she had.
And that's what I've been told.
That's
what I've been told. She was 14, so I'm in the midst of being forgiving because she didn't know. She was 14, so she didn't know. But I still say I didn't have either, But I learned to be better for my daughter. And if I see something that she's going through, my daughter's an introvert, so she doesn't talk a lot. So I learned to watch things because she won't tell me anything. So I watch her Facebook page, I watch her Instagram posts, and being an introvert, she'll post things that'll alert me to say something's going on. She needs my attention, so I will call her because she won't tell me anything. So I will give my mom that excuse only to a certain extent, because I feel like as you grow, you learn, you do better.
So you do also know we have to be exposed and be around people that shows that example for us, and then she has to be willing. How many of you are willing to grow, willing to do something different, willing to take the advice of someone who may be just a little bit more experienced than you? Because we don't know everything. And unless somebody teaches you, you're going to be stuck in that same situation, stuck repeating a cycle. So I want to offer to you, be open to know that you don't know everything, especially if you were never taught. And I see with your daughter, you're trying to teach your daughter something different so that it can break that cycle.
Absolutely, absolutely. Just being there for her, listening to her, things that I didn't have growing up, sharing her dreams, pushing her toward her dreams and aspirations, and not taking it from her, because I need to do this for myself. I can't be there for you because I have to do this for him. I have to do this for his kids, so I can't be there with you. I can't see you because I'm too busy trying to win his love through his children. So I think in a lot of ways, growing up and dealing with that, it taught me to run a lot. So in relationships, get in a relationship, I've been married twice. At the first sight of anything like that, because my first thing is to protect my children or my everything. So if I see that it's not working out for them, then it's not going to work out. If it's not working out for me, it's not going to work out for them. Children are happy when you're happy, no matter where you are, big, small house, little house, hole in the wall. If you're happy, they're happy.
Yeah.
So that's...
I truly agree with that, and that we should always take our children into consideration when we're making a major decision like that. And the mere fact that you honored yourself and said, I'm not happy, and you really just said, okay, the kid's going to do whatever I want to do.
Absolutely.
They're going to be happy if I'm happy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So did you ever think that maybe that's what your mom was thinking, as long as she's happy, the kids are going to be happy?
She knew we weren't happy.
Okay.
And I felt like it was selfish of her because I was at an age where I told her, I was able to verbalize.
Okay.
She was
We're going to come right back because I have to thank my sponsors first of all. And when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about that. I want to thank my sponsor, Real Champion League, the Speaking Bureau of the Future. Get listed. We'll be right back.
If you want it, then become it.
The only thing that's constant in this world is change. When you think about your most difficult change, do you get emotional? Maybe angry, sad, or frustrated? If you do, there's a high probability you have not healed the wounds of your past. I'm Latisa B, a certified grief coach, helping women to let go of the emotional pain that's been holding them hostage so they can live a healthier and happier life. To learn more, schedule a free discovery call at workwithlatisa.com.
Overcoming and becoming. Overcoming and becoming, babe. If you want it, then become it.
Welcome back to Overcoming and Becoming. If you have just tuned in, we've been talking to my guest, Miss Yolanda Perry, and she's been sharing with us her tumultuous life with her mom. And now we're going to talk about how your mom's behavior affected you as a woman.
It made me, because she chose men over her children, I kind of started that way with my life and, my children. But, I would always pull back because I would see mannerisms that I experienced that I didn't like as a child from her. So I would always pull back. But I always felt that need to have a man. Even though she had the same man and he was extremely toxic, I just felt like, okay, this is what my mom showed me. She didn't show me independence. She didn't show me being by herself and standing strong on her own. She just showed me that she always needed to have a man in her life. So even when I divorced, it wasn't too long after my first divorce, I found myself in a relationship and then in another marriage. So it affected me in that way of not being able to feel like I can be on my own and stand on my own.
To just be you. And jumping from one relationship to another, it never really gave you a chance to heal.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It just added to everything that I went through with her. It just was a big ball of fury, confusion, emotion, a whole lot of stuff.
And you took that into your relationship, your new marriage.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I chose wrong. And it made me choose wrong. Because I didn't take the time to heal. It made me choose wrong.
Right. Does your mom know how her behavior or how her actions has impacted your life?
Honestly, I don't think she cares.
But do she know? Have you ever told her? Have you ever said those words, Mom, growing up like this has had this effect on me?
I never had the opportunity because she's in denial of everything. She doesn't want to hear it. She goes into, and that's with any of my sisters when we ever try to talk to her about things that she put us through and how it has affected our lives negatively. She doesn't want to talk about it. She doesn't want to live in that space. So therefore she's still there.
So it's not just you, it's your sisters that have the same type of...
She has her picks.
She has her picks.
She has her picks, and unfortunately, I'm not one of them.
And how does it make you feel that you are not your mom's pick?
It's hurtful, but I've learned over maybe a year ago, it took me to have to get over it. I had to tell myself, get over it, because I was losing me in trying to make her see me and make her love me. I was losing me, and in that, I was losing my daughter. I was gravitated more towards my son because that's what she taught me to see, to love a man, And I love my daughter and I took care of her, and I just felt like I didn't give her 100% like I gave my son.
Wow. How many of you try not to repeat the past or repeat the patterns of our parents, but then we still become our parents? It is so easy to do what we know what is the norm than to do something different. Be mindful. If you didn't like it growing up, you may want to change it. Let me just ask you about your mom. Do you think your mom resented you?
I do believe that. I feel that way now. I feel that. I remember a couple of times growing up as a little girl, and I attribute it to the fact that she was 14. She didn't know any better. Didn't know how to raise kids. We grew up in an abusive house because she chose an abusive man that beat her on the regular. So I was that shelter for my sisters, and I don't think that she just had the tools necessary to raise children.
Yeah.
I don't, and I want to be forgiving, but I'd still say, over time you learn to do better. If you see that you're hurting your kids, and I've had conversations with you, then as a mother, I would want to do better. I could never knowingly do something to my child.
I know you're working on forgiveness, but I need you to understand that forgiveness, and I know we've heard this so many times, it's not for her.
It's for me.
It's for you.
It's for me.
And you say you were letting it go. Letting it go is your first step to forgiveness. And when you let it go, to have a conversation where you can talk about what's happened and it doesn't stir up emotions, that's how I know you're still kind of holding on to the actions of your mother, because you still can't talk about it just yet. So you have a little bit of unresolved grief going on, and I'm gonna help you to work through letting go. Because there is still, even though Yolanda is this fab, and when I tell you Yolanda is fabulous, she is fabulous. So when I help her to get through this little last bit of stuff, y'all better watch out. Because that just shows that she hasn't tapped into her full gift yet, because she still has a little bit of bitterness sitting on her heart. And when we take care of that bitterness, it's on. It's on. I want you to know that, because your first steps to moving forward, you're not going to even recognize. You're going to be like, I had all this still inside of me. Yes. So you ready? You ready to let that go, Yolanda?
I am. And honestly, until talking about it today, I honestly thought I did. I honestly thought I did. Because I've been able to not think. The last time me and my mom spoke, she called me a stupid bitch and a dumb bitch. The last words me and my mom spoke, and it's been a year. So I had to not let that affect me. I had to not internalize it too much, because I know that it would destroy me.
But it does affect you, and I want you to own those feelings. This is your mother. This is the woman that brought you into this world. And what she thinks about you, it should kind of affect you. But not to the point where you let it take you down. To realize that what she's saying, this is not who I am. It's not who I am.
I don't believe that it is who I am, because I'm confident in myself.
Right.
Just the fact that a mother would say that to a child.
But that's all she know. She's come from an abusive relationship, so that's what she know how to do. But you're going to do something different, and you've chosen to do something different.
Absolutely.
Yes. So we're going to go ahead and wrap up with this commercial break. But before we do that, I want to thank my sponsor, JWU Holistic Healing. She will help you to eliminate that chronic pain that you're in. We'll be right back.
If you want it, then become it.
Have you been diagnosed with an autoimmune disease or in chronic pain? Issues with your neck, your back, and even waking up in the morning, you just do not feel yourself. It's stopping you from daily activities that you would normally do on a regular basis. Have your doctors failed you? Are you trying not to lose hope? Your faithful appointments, you continue to keep them, and you see there's no hope in sight. Are you tired of fighting your body and ready to win this battle? It's time for you to return to fun, laughter, dancing, and family time. At JWU Holistic Healing, we help you to naturally eliminate your chronic pain so you can start enjoying life the way you want to. For more information, go to eliminatemychronicpain.com and schedule a free discovery call.
Coming and becoming. Overcoming and becoming, babe. If you want it, then become.
Welcome back to Overcoming and Becoming. If you have just tuned in, we have been talking to my guest about letting go of the things that she was holding on to so that she can become the woman that she has become today. Thank you. I really, really am touched by your story.
Thank you.
That makes, honestly, I'm blessed to have raised by the mother that I was.
Absolutely.
And my mother, she couldn't give me everything. And that's how I knew she could only give me what she had.
Right.
And when I acknowledged that with my own mother, I loved her for every bit that she could give me. And I know it's a little bit difficult with you and your mother and the relationship, but has your mother taught you anything positive? I'm pretty sure if you look deep down inside.
Well, she would always tell me, even in the midst of her, in her abusive relationships, she would tell me, "Don't walk in my shoes. Don't walk in my shoes. I want you to be better than me." Even though she stayed, and I would always ask her, "Mom, why won't you just leave? Why do you stay?" She never had an answer for me, but she would constantly tell me, "Don't walk in my shoes."
She had her reasons.
Mm-hmm.
We all have our reasons for why we stayed. I've been divorced too, and I stayed because I had my reasons to stay. I know you had your reasons why you stayed too. Sometimes we don't share those reasons, and everybody looking from the outside in don't see them. So just know, I know she went through a lot, and you guys went through a lot, but she had her reasons for staying. So let's talk about letting go. Because you thought you had let go a lot of this, right?
I thought I did.
Yeah, and you did.
I honestly thought I did.
You did. You let a lot of it go. But as we were speaking, some of it, it was so much that you unearthed a lot of it, but everything didn't come out. So now that we're actually having this conversation and we're touching on the topic again, you got just a little bit emotional, and it is okay to be emotional. But we want to help our guests to move forward.
Absolutely.
We want to help all of our viewing audience. If you are in the shoes of Miss Yolanda, if you have seen yourself in her journey, we want to help you to let go. So when you were going through this, what were some of the things that you did to actually start taking your first steps forward to let go of the relationship that you had with your mom?
Well, not only just the relationship I had with my mother, but just, divorce, relationships in general. I started to write, and I started to pour my emotions out into journaling. And that's how I emptied myself of a lot, because I think that had I not, I'd probably be on the verge of somebody's suicide list or a cliff jumping off. Had I not, divulged a lot of it in writing. So that was my solace. That was my peace to empty out myself. That helped me to empty out a lot of myself.
Writing. I found solace in writing. I was never a journaler. Never journal. I only wrote because I had to write because of school. That's it. But when I decided to write my first book, The Resurrection, Life After the Death of Your Child, I didn't realize I was still holding on to a lot of stuff.
Yes.
As I wrote that book, y'all, I cried through all of the chapters, because each of the chapters that I touched on, I had to go back and relive some of that stuff. And by me reliving it, I started feeling it all over again. So I understand when those tears, they come up. Because when we put it to the side, we say, I'm done with it. I'm moving forward. I've made my decision. Sometimes we don't always get rid of everything. There's still some residual stuff left around.
Absolutely.
Yeah. How many of you have ever written? Have you written your feelings out? When you write, have you ever wrote to your mother?
I have not.
I want to offer that suggestion to you. When I work with my clients and I identify some area that they are stuck in, and the first thing have you ever told them how they made you feel? And if they told me no, the first thing that I want to do, I tell them, write them a letter. And in that letter to your mother, because you say you don't want to hear it, right? Well, she don't have to hear it because it's not for her. is for you. I want you to write that letter to your mother and tell your mother how her actions as a mother affected you as a child and as a woman, and how it made you feel. Concentrate on the word feel, because that's where those tears come from. Because we generally avoid our feelings.
Right.
Concentrate on the way you feel, not necessarily on what she did. Because what she did, we can't change that, right?
Absolutely not.
I want you to concentrate on how you feel and how you still feel today. How you still feel today about growing up with her as a mother. And I recommend that you all do that. Write a letter to whoever may have hurt you. Tell them everything. And then I want you to put that letter to the side. Put it to the side, okay? Come back the next day. Read it again. Read it again. And then some things that you forgot to say, put it in that letter again. Now that letter, it doesn't even matter what it looked like, scratching out, because only you're going to read it.
Right.
Only you're going to read it. But I want you to put your feelings in that, cuss her out, cuss him out, whoever did anything to you. Let them know how you made you feel. Day 3, don't do anything about it. Just push it to the side. Give yourself a chance to rest. Just rest and be with it. Day 4, pull it back out. Read it aloud. You see how when you said it, how emotions came out? Read that letter aloud, and whatever tears come out, let it come out. And then say, you have no more control over me. I release you. And then burn it. Burn it. That's going to be your first step to letting it go.
Got it.
And we're going to circle back to you, Miss Yolanda. Because I'm going to want to know, how did that happen? How did that affect you? I want to know. Because there's so many women that see themselves in your shoes. They see themselves in your shoes. Say, my mom, she wasn't the best. And a lot of what she done, it's left some residual in me.
Right.
But let's tell our viewers, how can they reach out to you, Yolanda?
Well, I'm on Instagram. I'm on Instagram at Arthur_y.r.perry. And I'm also on Facebook at Yolanda SGB Perry on Facebook.
Thank you so much for being here with me and sharing your story. We're going to go ahead and take a commercial break, but before we do that, I want to thank my sponsor, Kagan Lane of Kagan Lane Photography. He will capture you the way you want to be seen. We'll be right back.
If you want it, then become it.
The only thing that's constant in this world is change. When you think about your most difficult change, do you get emotional? Maybe angry, sad, or frustrated? If you do, there's a high probability you have not healed the wounds of your past. I'm Latisa B, a certified grief coach, helping women to let go of the emotional pain that's been holding them hostage so they can live a healthier and happier life. To learn more, schedule a free discovery call at workwithlatisa.com.
Become a part of a speaking agency that will show you how to stay relevant and be the speaking expert in your field now. Get ready to be ahead of the pack. Join the League of Champions and get ready for a champion comeback.
Overcoming and becoming. Overcoming and becoming, babe. If you want it, then become it.
Welcome back, and thank you for tuning in to today's show. In the words of Iyanla Van Zandt, when you stand and share your story in a powerful way, your story not only heals you, but it heals others in the process. Until next time, see you then.
If you want it, then become it.